Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back in the building, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive night. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all had a great day overall. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We got some things that we need to discuss currently going on in the boxing world, man. We're going to talk about the huge chance that Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson happens next, along with Errol Spence canceling the Sebastian Fundora fight, man. We definitely going to get into it. But before we get into all of that, man, I just want to see exactly who's in the building. And hit the like button as soon as you come in. Shout out to the 4 people that's in the building so far. Y'all must have got the noties. You must have got them notifications, man. I hope everybody is doing well. Shout out to my boy Slime with the first comment of the day. He says, bless us, Mark. Shout out. Shout out the Mazuma Nation. Yeah, absolutely, my brother. Shout out to you, man. One of the day one supporters on the channel. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. We got some things that we need to discuss. Shout out to my boy Coffee Plant, said Future. Much appreciated, my brother. Thank you very much. I be hearing that a lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if motherfuckers is foreshadowing something. Shit, I hope. But they talk about like the future of Philly. He the future. That's dope to hear, man. Let me know I'm doing something right. And the channel's getting bigger every day, man. So, I mean, obviously, the work is being put in. Shout out to my boy Boxer Film. He said, sup, what's going on, my brother? Talk to me. How y'all feeling? How everything going today, man? Hit the like button as soon as you come in so we can get the algorithm on the up. So we could pop up on these fuck niggas timeline. So let me stop playing. But nah, for real, man, let's get this shit. Let's get the algorithm on the up. You see what I mean? We got some things to talk about. We gotta keep this shit 1,000 on here, man. We gotta see exactly what's going on with Earl Spence. When I heard that was some pretty disappointing news, and it confirmed a lot for me. You know what I mean? But we definitely gonna get into it. I hope y'all like the new banner I got up. You know what I'm saying? I had the same one on for a little good amount of time. You know what I'm saying? So I switched it up a little bit, man. You know what I mean? And I brought the banner back at the bottom, letting y'all know about the Mazuma merch. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 new designs up there. You know what I mean? The Mazuma School of Boxing. Y'all go check that one out. Then I got a dope design I also put up. You know what I mean? Following that one. If you use the code NATION, you get 10% off everything that's on the website. Tank tops, coffee mugs, stickers, hoodies, crew necks, t-shirts. I got it all on there, man. All in different colorways. Please go check it out. Shout out to MB26. He said, Mark Quiet, Tank fighting Shakur, JK. This dude right here, man. This dude, MB, is a die-hard Gervonta Davis fan. And it's not even confirmed yet. You know what I'm saying? This is shit that, Gervonta Davis' team is saying, but, they're not involved with the business. So, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there and act like they word is bond. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I gotta see the announcements. You know what I mean? I gotta see both of them confirm it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta see the press conferences. I gotta see it all before I believe some shit. Shout out to the boy Glizzy. He said, "Hi, what you say?" He said, "Hi, Mark. What's going on, my brother?" You know what I mean? We definitely gotta speak about some things. But we got 10 people in the building, man. So fuck it. Let's chop it up, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the building and is showing love. He said you need your merch on boxing gloves. I could easily get boxing gloves custom made, man. That's definitely no problem. Shit. I could definitely make that happen. I had manufacturers reach out to me all the time offering to, make stuff for me, you know what I mean? Inexpensive type Johns. You know what I'm saying? He said nothing much. Almost got shot today. Yeah, you gotta tighten up, my brother. That probably was a wake up call, man. You gotta get right and stay up out the way, stay out the mix. You know what I'm saying? If you got kids or whatever, man, you know what I mean, do what you gotta do for them and take your ass home. You know what I'm saying? It's a different world out here. You know what I'm saying? I live in probably the most violent section of Philadelphia, and I ain't never having none of them situations because, you know what I mean, I step outside, I get my money, attend to what I gotta attend to, and I take my ass home, bro. I don't even go out. I don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, take that as a learning lesson, my brother. And you alive, so you blessed. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to the boy Glizzy, you know what I'm saying? Pause. But anyways, man, let's speak about the reports that I've been seeing, you know what I'm saying, man. Shout out to Michael Benson and everybody that's on here, providing credible information, man. I hate like the clickbaiters and all that shit. That's why I always just, I keep my sources, like the people that I get my information from, I keep that circle real small, man. I don't just listen to anybody and think that, the news is true and stuff like that. A lot of these dudes be spreading cat, but Michael Benson is somebody I gravitate towards all the time because there's not many times where he says things that he's wrong or anything like that. So shout out to the boy Michael Benson. Now, according to Michael Benson, Gervonta Davis's co-trainer Kenny Ellis. Now, Kenny Ellis has been in the media a whole lot lately, man. He don't turn down no interviews, I guess, man. Shout out to Kenny Ellis. Hopefully, I could bring him on the channel. Yeah, I mean, someday, you know what I mean? Because he seems like a dope individual that keep it real from the interviews that I've seen with him. But according to Kenny Ellis, he said he believes there's a huge chance for the Shakur Stevenson fight to happen next. He goes on to say Shakur said he would take the fight in November with Tank. So let's see how bad he wants it now. He's not with Bob anymore. So let's see. The only thing that could stop the fight is fear. Huge chance the fight happens. We'll see. Now, this was on Mill City Box. Shout out to Mill City for constantly and consistently bringing dope content to the table. You know what I'm saying? And just having some good boxing talk overall, man. But my overall thoughts on this situation is, hearing these types of things, man, it definitely amps me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm really looking forward to seeing if this is going to be a reality. As boxing fans, obviously we get disappointed a lot with, fights being, canceled and pulled out and, people, cherry picking and, skipping the best fights and, overpricing themselves. Everything that this sport comes with, boxing fans are met with a lot of disappointment. And it's very rare if, fighters, come to fight each other when they're both at their prime, both at their peak, you know what I'm saying, that happen to have undefeated records. You know what I'm saying? I think the last one that we actually saw was like Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. And, that fight took years to happen. That was at least like a 5-year span that we had waited for that fight. And, even then, there's a lot of people who made excuses for Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? He had spectacular performances after his car accident. But, with the Terrence Crawford situation, they had every excuse to not give that man any credit. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. So, that's probably the last one that I could recollect in all honesty. Boxing, we get some good fights, man. Let's not get it wrong. I mean, we definitely get some good fights, but it's very rare if we get like an absolute super fight in the sport of boxing, and these guys happen to be like at their peak, undefeated, haven't been faded yet type situation. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to see that with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. We didn't get it. You see what I'm saying? We wanted to see it with Jermell, Charlo, and Jerry Hurd. We didn't see it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of disappointments that boxing fans have been met with. You know what I'm saying? He said Bud Spence been talked about since mid-2017, early 2018. Yeah, and the fight happened last year. So, yeah, 5 to 6 years. We waited for that fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long we waited. Is it a super fight, Mark? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, listen, man, Gervonta Davis is a star, and he's shown that he don't got no problem doing numbers, right? He did some spectacular numbers with Ryan Garcia and stuff like that. Shakur Stevenson, is he like this superstar that we know of? Like, will we consider him a superstar? No, but, there's a lot of people that are really anticipating these two fighting. Shakur Stevenson is recognized enough where, he's associated with Gervonta Davis. I know people that don't watch boxing at all, and they be like, yeah, man, that I want to see that one kid fight Tank, man. He got some good defense, man. So like they don't be knowing his name, but they know him enough to know that he should be in the ring with Gervonta Davis. And I think the casual fans will be in the building when Gervonta and Shakur fight each other. I genuinely believe that. And we know that as long as the casual boxing fans are involved, there's definitely going to be some bread. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be generating for sure. I think it's a super fight, in all honesty. Streets will be outside, MB26. That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to the boy Orlando Finney in the building. He says, what's good, MarkMazuma Nation? It's about to go down on August 3rd. Let's go. It's an absolutely phenomenal card, August 3rd. And I'm telling you guys right now, right now, I'm definitely doing a live fight reaction to that. I'm gonna definitely have my people over here. We gonna watch that card. We definitely gonna watch that card. There's too many great fights to not give you guys, live fight commentary or just, live fight reactions overall. So I'm gonna definitely be in the building, and we definitely watching this shit. You feel what I'm saying? Let's see what MB26 says. Mark, do you think Tank be talking to Al on the phone? Yeah, Al Heyman speaks to, like them guys that are like his elite, like superstars. I hear about them fighters having conversations with Al all the time. Errol Spence says he talks to Al Heyman almost every day, and you know what I'm saying. Floyd Mayweather, he talks on the phone with Al, and maybe like if you're a young up and coming fighter, you probably not gonna get no word from Al. But once you hit like that superstar status, you definitely in contact with Al Heyman and shit like that. So, yeah, I'm sure Gervonta Davis talks to Al all the time. I don't know exactly what the business dynamic is between them. It seemed like Tank keep it low key in terms of like what his promotional deal is, what his fight deal is. I don't really fucking know. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, um, yeah, I'm sure he talks to Al pretty frequently. You know what I'm saying? No, there's no way I'm this big boxing superstar and I'm not communicating with the guy who conducts my business. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's already weird enough that I'm not communicating with the man when I'm on the come up. But when I'm a like, bona fide star like Gervonta Davis, I need to communicate with the person who, is, responsible for me, getting these checks and, conducting my business overall. Tank do be a quiet motherfucker, bro. He don't really be saying how much he be making. I mean, he shouldn't. That's not really our business for real. But like in terms of like exactly what his promotional situation is, or does he have a direct network deal with Amazon? Like, what's the situation? You know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, we could be curious all we want, but that's not our business. Our business as boxing fans is just to know who he's fighting and shit like that. You know what I mean? And just being in tune with who he fights and shit. Shout out to my boy Ralph. He said, didn't Spence say Al gave him a second phone or something where he only talks to Al on that phone? I remember he had did like a video with GQ about like his necessities and stuff, and he had like an extra phone. And I don't know if he said Al gave him the phone, but he says that he has a separate phone just for calls that pertain to like his business with Al Heyman. You know what I'm saying? It was like a little trap phone or whatever. And I thought that was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? So he keep that phone on him, and when that phone ring, he already know that it's Al. Now I know people that speak on the phone with Al Heyman. You know what I mean? I know some business. You know what I mean? Promoter. I know people that's involved in the boxing business and promoters that have been on the phone with Al Heyman. I never personally like heard him on the phone or anything like that. But Al Heyman is a very private person, man. Like he calls you through blocked numbers, like no caller ID. And the promoter that I know, I'm not going to say his name, of course, but when he gets like a phone call and it says no caller ID, he's like, this got to be Al. Now he steps away every time and he communicates with him, and he be like, yeah, that was Al. You see what I'm saying? So that's how low key Al Heyman be keeping it. You know what I'm saying? Al, I mean, yeah, I understand Al not special, but he definitely got a lot of mystique to him, and there's a lot of questions around him. You know what I'm saying? There's only like 3 pictures of this man online, probably a couple videos that have been seen with him, being in it personally, and you know, it, sh- nobody really knows shit about him. You know what I'm saying? They be talking about this nigga Batman and shit. He said, Mark, how do Al Heyman watch the fights? Well, I'm sure most like I mean, I'm sure he watch it like anybody else, bro. I'm sure like he probably watches it on the TV. You know what I'm saying? He probably don't even fucking watch it. Who knows? Well, I mean, shit. How the hell would we know? He probably in the arena somewhere watching it in the locker room or a private room. Who knows? Who knows? I know he don't be in the crowd. I know he used to be at one point, like early Floyd fights when he was on HBO and shit like that. Like he'll be in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? But now like he don't even play it in the crowd. Now he just keep it low key. If he's in the arena, I'm sure he's watching it like in a room, like a private room or something. Or maybe he probably just be at the crib, just watching it from his TV like everybody else. Who knows? Shit. It's only like 10 pictures of Al. That's crazy. For him to be involved in the business world and only have like 10 pictures of him online, that's crazy. Oh, I'm talking like in the arena. I'm sure he watches it in the back somewhere, if he's even in the arena. We don't even know if Al be in the arena, bro. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. I know I've been to a few PBC events and never seen him anywhere in sight. So who fucking knows? That boy is about as mysterious as they come. Shout out to my boy Jordan Sheriff. He said, trying to be as anonymous as Al one day. Unc has been sighted less than Bigfoot. That's a fact. This is a fact. The most clear thing I've ever seen of Al Heyman was this video. It's on YouTube where Virgil Hunter was doing an interview, and he was doing an interview or whatever. And in the middle of the interview, Al Heyman goes up to Virgil Hunter and shakes his hand, and then just he like you could tell he in a hurry though. I think he was with like Sam Watson or something. He shakes Virgil Hunter's hand real quick and just dips off into the night. That's like the clearest shit I've ever seen of Al. There's people that had these. He's so private that there's conspiracy theorists out here that say that Al Heyman's not real. They say Al Heyman's not real. Sam Watson is the real Al Heyman, bro. There's like real conspiracy theories out here, and when you're that private, the fact that Al Heyman is that private as to where, you know what I'm saying, you could just dip, like people really just don't think you're real. That's crazy. Yeah, bro. He seen that camp. I mean, he knew Virgil Hunter was doing the interview, but he didn't want to leave Virgil Hunter hanging. So, you know what I'm saying, he went up to him, shook his hand real quick, and then he got the fuck up out of there with the quickness. I'm sure he does. Maybe he just values his privacy. I'm sure Al Heyman is somebody that prioritizes his privacy. You know what I'm saying? And he don't want to fuck it up for nobody. He just want to stay low key. Maybe he don't like interviews. Maybe he don't like being around people. It could be multiple reasons. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he does that because he love the mystique. Like I don't know, man. It could be a lot of reasons why. I wish I knew why. Shit, I would love to do an interview with Al Heyman, bro. Whoever is able to get that interview with Al Heyman first, they the GOAT of this boxing talk shit. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. Whoever the fuck gets an interview with Al Heyman first, I mean, we don't know if it's ever gonna happen. I would love to see an Al Heyman documentary, bro. I would love to see that. But if there's anybody walking this motherfucking earth that is able to get an interview with Al Heyman, they are goated, bro. Considering the fact that this man, nobody even know what the fuck his voice sound like. You know what I mean? Outside of people who don't talk to him, don't nobody know what Al Heyman even sound like. So if you could get an interview with this man and put that out publicly for the world to see, you goated. You think Cigar Talk could potentially get it done? Shit, Najee plugged in. I don't know how the fuck the interview. I be impressed with the interviews he be getting. You know what I'm saying? So shit, if anybody gonna get it, it might be it might be Cigar Talk. He plugged in with the plugs for real. Shout out to Najee. Jordan Rule said Al is the definition of get your money and stay out of the way. I respect it, especially the way human beings act nowadays. Yeah, that's a fact, Jordan. That's a fact. I respect how the way he move. It take a lot of discipline to move like that because there's some people that crave attention. You know what I'm saying? To where, they want to get interviewed or, you know what I mean? They want to be in the spotlight. There's a lot of people who crave that type shit. The fact that Al Heyman is humble enough to play it behind the scenes and just let his fighters get the recognition and he just fall back and get shit done. You know what I mean? Behind closed doors. You got to respect that. Of course I respect Al. Why wouldn't I respect Al? Al Heyman has been a part of the biggest boxing event in boxing history. Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. That happened because of Al Heyman. Floyd Mayweather's career would have never went that way, in my opinion, without Al Heyman. Al Heyman is responsible for some of the biggest moments that we currently cherish, in boxing, in today's time in boxing. The biggest fights that have been made, especially all last year, Al Heyman dominated 2023. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody have answers when Al Heyman was on that road. Now that Turkey Al-Sheik around, everybody acting like Al Heyman ain't shit. But of course I respect Al. Al Heyman has taken, people who started off dirt poor and set them up for and set their lives up for the better. He saved a lot of lives, man, with his insight. Oh, okay, legendary. And he said Eric Saluba said they agreed to fight in December because he had a hand injury. For those who don't know exactly what's going on, man, I believe that Eric Saluba was declared medically unfit to face, Tim Tszyu. So I believe Tim Tszyu is looking for an opponent right now. And they said that, Eric Saluba even tried to get the fight pushed back. but they said they was following through with their event. You know, they just gonna find a substitute. However, they agreed to fight at the end of the year. You know what I mean? But that's not guaranteed, of course, because who's to say, you know, Tim Tszú's gonna win this fight? You know what I'm saying? So it just sounds like a verbal agreement right now. Yeah. Yeah. Ralph, he made Spence versus Bud, Tank versus Ryan, and other fights last year. Of course. He dominated 2023, bro. PBC was icing shit all 2023, and ain't nobody really had no response for that. So I think, you know, I know boxing is what have you done for me lately, and it's been a slow start. It's been a slow 2024 for PBC. Let's not forget Al Heyman, one of them ones. Let's not forget that. Al Heyman is one of them dudes. All the promoters respect Al Heyman. A lot of these dudes look up to Al Heyman. They threatened by Al Heyman. Y'all remember when Oscar De La Hoya and all them, they sued Al Heyman for attempting to run a monopoly in boxing? That's how much he was dominating, bro. They sued this man because they said, like, they pretty much was saying, like, yo, Al Heyman, you know, he got too much power. He got too much influence. We gonna sue this nigga for, you know, having a monopoly in boxing. And they lost it, by the way. But that's how dominant Al Heyman was in this shit. You said Don King is the greatest promoter of all time. Yo, on some real shit, Mastermind, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. If he's not the greatest, he definitely top 3 in my opinion. I just think that, and you know, Don King didn't do anything different from what these promoters currently do now. You know what I'm saying? Scraping money off of the top of these fighters' paychecks. Paying these judges off and these reps, bro. All these promoters done got caught doing that shit. But you know, because Don King is a black man and he was flashy, flamboyant, whatever the fuck you want to call him, outspoken, you know, they went on a mission to destroy that man. Meanwhile, we got dudes like Bob Arum getting investigated by the FBI for rigging fights and all types of shit. And, you know, he's still able to shine and maintain. Eddie Hearn, best promoter. I don't know. I don't know about that. I know Eddie Hearn, you know, he definitely doing his thing. You know, he's signing some good guys and making some good fights happen and shit like that. But, you know, Al Heyman's not even technically a promoter. So, you know, he's a manager / advisor. And that's why he hires, you know, TGB, Tom Brown, and them to promote his events. Technically, he's not a promoter, so you can't even put him in that category. You feel what I'm saying? Who's my favorite promoter? I don't really, bro. I'm not fans of promoters, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But I fuck with Don King, though. I fuck with Don King and what he did for boxing, man. Don King's still out here being determined, and you know he had that Blair Cobbs Adrian Broner fight. You know what I'm saying? So he put Adrian Broner in the smoke soon as Adrian signed with him. You know, respect to him, and he in his 90s still going strong like Bob. So you gotta respect him. Yo, boxing film. What you not really educated on Al Heyman, my brother? There was a whole clip. Yo, do y'all remember when Floyd Mayweather I forgot who he beat, but then Shane Mosley went in the ring and called him out, and there was like a whole, you know, like verbal altercation that happened, and Floyd Mayweather was upset after the fight. Floyd Mayweather was in the back, he was in the locker room, he was like, "Oh, they real disrespectful, Al. They disrespectful. And you can see Al Heyman like consoling him, like trying to get him to calm down, like. And like there was literally a moment where Al Heyman was, you know, talking back and forth with Floyd. So I don't know if you just don't know about Al or you ain't been watching boxing that long, but you know Al had a little bit of moments. Yeah, there's video footage. You can check that out, bro. It's right there, right here on YouTube to see. Mastermind says number 1 Don King, number 2 Bob Arum, number 3 Lou Duva. Okay. Yeah, bro, you go check that shit out, man. Al Heyman been in the mix a couple times. You know, those early HBO days with Floyd, Al Heyman used to be in the crowd, but I don't know exactly caused the switch up. But Al Heyman was always private though. That's one thing you can't deny. But back that I was saying with the initial conversation, man, Kenny Ellis seems like obviously he's not one of Tank's people that conducts business. He's merely a trainer at the end of the day. So, but at the same time, he might know some shit that we don't know that's going on behind the scenes. So, he said there's a huge chance that fight could happen. That lets me know that Gervonta Davis, according to Kenny Ellis, is interested in the fight. You know, because Kenny Ellis even told Keyshawn, like, you ain't a part of this Gervonta Davis deal. You know what I'm saying? You ain't a part of the 6 or 7 fight deal that Gervonta got going on. So, Kenny Ellis keeps it transparent and the in a way where it's like he'll tell you whether Gervonta Davis is interested in fighting somebody or not interested in fighting somebody. So it seems like he's optimistic about the Shakur fight. I wonder what Gervonta Davis is going to do next. I told you guys he got 3 options. He got the Shakur Stevenson fight, which everybody wants to see. William Cepeda, solid fight, but not the fight. And then the Isaac Cruz rematch, which, in my opinion, is garbage. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, I hope Kenny Ellis is right, man. I'm excited to see that fight. That's definitely a pay-per-view fight, in my opinion. They getting my money for sure. I'm definitely putting my bread up when that fight happens. You know what I mean? It's definitely gonna be a big fight party in this motherfucker when that shit come together. Ain't no doubt about that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm real excited. You know what I mean? I'm real excited for that fight. Hopefully, Kenny Ellis is, letting us know that, both guys are on. If Shakur Stevenson finds a way to walk away from this one, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to trust anything Shakur Stevenson ever say again in terms of him wanting to fight the best or, him chasing greatness or anything like that. But I think Shakur Stevenson really believes in himself. I think that he's that competitive of a person where he wants to prove he's the best. And I think he will fight Gervonta Davis. And Gervonta Davis, on the other hand, he's been saying, and if you pay attention to what he's saying pretty consistently that the time is now. You know what I'm saying? So he's on a mission. He wants to beat all the guys that that the people consider elite. He wants to defeat them, and he wants to ride off into the sunset because he don't want to be in boxing much longer. So I think both of these guys believe they could beat each other, and I believe that both of these guys are willing to fight each other. It's just a matter of when. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see no more, flat-footed Mexicans that Gervonta Davis has. And they don't even got to be Mexicans, honestly. Just like these flat-footed fighters, that lack the, the slick athleticism that these, black fighters have. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see them style matchups anymore. Gervonta Davis comes out successful each time. Let's give him a different look. Let's put him in there with Shakur Stevenson, who's one of the most intelligent fighters in boxing, elusive. You know what I mean? Defensive specialist, accurate puncher. You know what I'm saying? Good combination puncher when he lets his hands go. You know what I mean? Just overall an intelligent fighter that could cause Gervonta a whole lot of fits. You know what I'm saying? So let's see that. Let's see a different look. Let's see how Gervonta Davis solves this puzzle if he's even able to. Because I think Shakur is that much of a threat. So we'll see. It said Tank back in the gym. Yeah, Tank been locked in, bro. Tank really been locked in, man. He been keeping his weight low. That's why I was confused when, Floyd Schofield's dad was talking about Shakur, that Tank really a light heavyweight that boiled down to lightweight. It's like, bro, Gervonta Davis looked like he walk around at his fight weight. I was hearing that he walk around like 140, 138, and he fight at 135. And that's why Calvin Ford and them been telling you that he could fight at 130 right now if he want to. And I believe him. I genuinely believe him. I think that Tank eats the whole week of the fight. I don't think that boy starve at all. I think he had breakfast before he weighs in. That's how disciplined Gervonta Davis is right now. And you gotta appreciate that. You gotta appreciate that in a fighter, man. And that only gives Gervonta an advantage because at the end of the day, he's not fighting many battles in training camp. All he gotta worry about is just his skill, sharpening up on his tools, his skill. He don't gotta sit here and worry about his weight and cutting this extra cut this 8 pounds in 2 weeks, bro. He don't gotta worry about none of that shit, man. If you just focusing on your skill set and just making sure you in shape, bro, that makes camp so much easier. That's the ultimate advantage, Floyd Mayweather had. He walked around 150, 151. And he only had to cut 4 pounds in a 2-month training camp. Bro, you could lose 4 pounds in one training session. That's why this motherfucker was eating McDonald's and all types of shit. Nigga had a 4 for 4 after doing yoga. And was, he making weight, and all he got to do is focus on his craft. That's what gave Floyd the ultimate advantage. And I guess, you know what I'm saying? I guess, Gervonta Davis seen that and he adopted that, that quality, that advantage. A fighter that lives the fighter lifestyle 24/7, you know what I mean? They have a huge, you know, psychological advantage against a lot of their competition, bro. Trust me. Lucky Upset says Shakur don't look good at 35. I can't tell. He the WBC lightweight champion of the world. You one of the men in the division. You doing something, right? Hasn't had a close fight yet. He doing the least and still beating dudes convincingly. I can't tell that he don't look good at 35. Yo, Ralph, this is an absolute fact, bro. He said once he stopped hanging around Broner, we seen a disciplined Tank. Ain't that shit funny how that go? Like when Adrian Broner was the man at one point, even with his losses, he was still one of the top names in boxing. And Gervonta Davis was following his lead, just trying to get to where he at. And not only did he try to get where he at, he surpassed Adrian Broner on a whole different level in terms of superstardom and everything. And just being a better fighter. Tank is a much better fighter than Broner ever was, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? He might not have not conquered. He might have not got belts in 4 different weight classes, but you know what I'm saying? At the same time, Gervonta Davis was a lot better than Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? Adrian Broner, you know what I mean? He stunned his growth with his bad habits. You know what I'm saying? Gervonta Davis got a hold of himself and, made the switch up at the perfect time. What? You said Shakur versus Edwin was a draw? This nigga is tripping. That is crazy. I mean, yo, listen, man, like you entitled to your opinion. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like Shakur don't look good at 35, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. He's had some performances that fans didn't like. You feel what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like for you to say that he don't look good at 35 when he's a WBC champion at 135. And I completely disagree with you. Edwin De Los Santos Shakur was not a draw. That's the first time I've actually even heard that. I never even heard that. I think everybody acknowledged that Shakur conventionally beat Edwin De Los Santos. He just didn't. He didn't do enough. I mean, obviously he did enough. He won, but he could have done more. But he held back. You see what I mean? I think that was the only criticism. I ain't hear nobody say De Los Santos got robbed. There was a draw, anything like that. I watched that fight a few times, and I saw the same shit every time, and it was Shakur being the winner. Just that Shakur, he ain't step it up. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really like, he really wasn't entertaining in that fight. It definitely wasn't a draw. I disagree with you. But in terms of you saying that Shakur don't look good at 35, you entitled to your opinion. He said, look at this right here. He says, you can't win throwing single jabs every 30 seconds. If you're throwing single jabs every 30 seconds while your opponent is not able to hit you, that's enough to win a round. I hope you know that. If it's a 3-minute fight and he's landing a jab every 30 seconds, but he doesn't get touched in that whole round, who they giving that fight to? Who they giving that round to? De Los Santos did nothing with Shakur Stevenson. He was the aggressor, but he was not effective at all. Nigga was shadow boxing the majority of the fight. And whenever Shakur, found like found little rooms to let his hands go, he outlanded De Los Santos. So I don't see how you could say that was a draw. But regardless, we're not even about to stick on this, man. Like I said, you entitled to your opinion. I ain't even about to be trying to prove niggas wrong or anything like that. I don't got the energy for that shit today. I ain't gonna lie to you. But regardless, man, shout out to Lucky Upset. K7 says, who wins, Tank versus Edwin? How do you think it ends? I think Gervonta Davis comes out on top with that Edwin De Los Santos fight. Edwin De Los Santos is aggressive. He punches hard. He's actually a pretty solid fighter. But Gervonta Davis, I just think that he's a little bit more intelligent than Edwin De Los Santos. And I honestly see Gervonta Davis, luring him into a big shot and, eventually stopping Edwin De Los Santos. I just think that style specifically, that come forward aggressive style, Gervonta Davis, he's real good at playing the matador, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he could get on the back foot real well. He don't mind, bro. Like Gervonta don't mind, walking to somebody, pressuring him like he did against Frank Martin, and he don't mind going on the back foot like Isaac Cruz and Rolly Romero. Either way, he finds a way. And a lot of people, they say this set trap term, right? But they don't even necessarily know what it means. But Gervonta Davis is good at that. Like I'll give you an example. When he was fighting Ryan Garcia, he was putting his lead hand out there, right? And that was him merely setting a trap, because what he was doing was he was trying to get Ryan Garcia to launch the left hook, right? So he could roll underneath and land his counter, right? Which he ended up doing in that first knockdown. It was beautiful. But if you watch the whole time, he knows that Ryan Garcia's main objective is to land that left hook. So he's putting his lead hand out there, because he's a southpaw, his lead hand is his right hand. So he's putting his right hand out there and showing, he's showing Ryan Garcia that he's open for the left hook, right? He's blatantly setting the trap right there. That's the trap. Making it seem like he's available for the left hook. Ryan Garcia launches the left hook. Gervonta gets right underneath, lands the bomb. You know what I'm saying? This dude, Tank, is really good at setting up these traps and getting fighters to do things and making them pay for it. I can see Edwin De Los Santos getting a little bit greedy when he's the aggressor and running into a shot. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to be hard to hit De Los Santos neither. Like we seen Rayo hurt Edwin. You know what I'm saying? He'll be there for one of Gervonta Davis's kill shots. That's just my personal opinion. Let me see. You said can't win a round. Okay, bro. You entitled to your opinion, my brother. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I just told you. I gave you my opinion. You still stuck on what you're saying. We could agree to disagree and go about our way. You're literally the only person that I ever heard say that De Los Santos got robbed or Top Rank gave Shakur a gift for that fight. I don't even know how you could say that. I'm just happy that you're not a judge. Like, I'm happy you're not a judge, bro. Or some real shit. You might get investigated. Just sound like you don't like Shakur for real, for real. And if that's the case, you need to just say that and go about your business. So, yeah, man. That's pretty much my take on the whole Gervonta, Shakur Stevenson shit. They say it's a huge chance that it happens next. I hope so, man. Boxing fans deserve it. We've been dealing with so much BS. If we was actually to get something to go our way for once, I think that we will be highly appreciative of it. You feel what I'm saying? So let's see exactly what happens with that. Ralph said he probably think T.O. beat Jermaine too. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't doubt it. This dude definitely stuck in his ways. You can tell he a closed-minded dude because he didn't take into consideration nothing I said. He keep repeating the same points, just talking in circles. But it is what it is, man. All right, man. We got 22 people in the building. Let's see. Let's check where the likes at, man. Show me where the likes is at. Let me see something real quick. I hope we got the likes up there, man. Let's check it out. Oh no, I hope that ain't the number that I seen. I hope that ain't the number. Okay, we got 14 likes. Let's get them up. We got 22 people with 14 likes. Come on, man. We need at least 20. Y'all. Let's get it going. But anyways, let's talk about y'all boy Errol Spence, man. Obviously, he's my boy as well. I'll just be talking shit. I was a big fan of Errol Spence. I still am. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them dudes who somebody catches a L, you know what I'm saying, and I walk away from them and act like they ain't shit. I definitely never been one of those. I ride to the wheels fall off. I was like that with Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? I was like that with my favorite fighter, Tito Trinidad. I'm going to be like that with all my favorite fighters that's currently in boxing right now. The Boots, the Bams, the Benavidez is, whatever the hell you want to say of the world. I'm rocking with them dudes to the wheels fall off. You know what I'm saying? But, Errol Spence, it seems like everything's at a standstill with Errol Spence right now. He got a lot of shit going on, whether we talking about, him, walking away from his trainer, you know what I'm saying, taking a devastating loss against Terrence Crawford and just needing like that time to heal. He got another eye surgery. It's a lot that's going on with Errol. You know what I'm saying? Obviously moving up into a different division. And I really think that at this point in time, like Errol Spence don't really have the same drive that he used to. When we listen to old interviews from Errol Spence, he was talking about, becoming undisputed at 147, which he attempted to do. He just came up short against the pound for pound best fighter in the world at the time, Terrence Crawford. But he also said he was going to go into 154 and do the same thing. But it just seems like his intentions have completely changed. I think that this Terrence Crawford loss brought a whole new perspective to Errol. And I think the old tweet that he had put out not too long ago, I think that's how he currently feels. He said, this might be the last time y'all see me. So, I don't think that he's really too enthused with boxing how he used to. I think that Errol Spence is at a point in his career where it's like, all right, I'll probably do a couple more fights, what I'm saying, lock in some good paydays and then just walk away. Because I think that him, absorbing all that punishment along with the car accidents, I think that he's starting to feel that accumulation. You know what I'm saying? Now, in regards to the reports that I have seen, I'm going to bring that up real quick. Let me read a couple more comments before I do so. This dude right here, man. This dude is getting annoying. I ain't even gonna lie to you. He said everyone has to like Shakur for setting the record for the lowest punches thrown in the boxing match. Bro, who gives a fuck? He won the fight. You still pressed on a fight that he done had a whole nother fight since then, and it was a much better performance. Why we keep talking about the Edwin De Los Santos fight, bro? Like he's moved on from that. He done did a whole new title defense since then. Like, bro, leave that shit alone, bro. Like the only thing that's crazy is that you going out your way to just shit on Shakur. Like, bro, just leave that shit alone, bro. What you want? What you don't want to see the Gervonta Davis fight? Get out your feelings, my nigga. Like you just really pressed about another man. I just don't be understanding. If Shakur one of the best fighters in the fucking weight class, and Gervonta Davis is one of the best fighters in the weight class, why the fuck is it such a problem for you to want to see them fight? All right, you got tanked by KO. All right, let it be. All right, you entitled to that prediction, bro. But just, you know what I'm saying? You I don't know, bro. You going about this shit wrong. You the one sounding like you about to cry. All right, well, go cry your ass somewhere in the corner and get off my dick, nigga. Fuck off my page. Weirdo. These dudes be weirdos. I'm trying to tell you, man. Yeah, Errol. That's exactly what I was trying to get across, Ralph. That Errol, done checked out mentally from boxing. That's what I think happened. In all honesty, man, I think that he started to take like things into consideration. You know what I'm saying? He probably don't want to be one of them dudes that absorb punishment all like that, and he wants to preserve his mental health for the sake of his family, his kids, and shit like that. He wants to live a normal life. You know what I'm saying? Errol is a real conscious dude. He's a very intelligent dude, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was kind of upset with that Derrick James situation in terms of not, paying his trainer what he deserves and shit like that. But, Earl is a real, intelligent dude. He knows what's going on in the sport. He knows what the sport comes with. And I don't think he want to be, another statistic in the boxing game. You know what I'm saying? In terms of these older fighters, and I'm telling you this from experience. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell y'all something, man. I went to the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame ceremony, right? Because I wanted to meet Tito Trinidad, my favorite fighter of all time. And I ended up meeting him. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of all that, there was plenty of other fighters that was getting inducted to the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame. And it was a real eye-opener for me, man. Like, there was fighters that we seen box, back in the day. These guys was world champions. I'm not even going to mention their names. You know what I'm saying? You can probably look back and find it on, the internet and shit like that. But, bro, there was fighters that I got autographs for that were absolutely broke, bro. Like, clothes all stained, and, they got people around them that's, bro, I'm gonna say there's one fighter. This one fighter was heavyweight champion of the world at one point. You know what I'm saying? Heavyweight champion of the world. I'm not going to say his name out of respect for him. But this dude literally couldn't count his money. He couldn't count his money. And he had somebody right beside him counting his money for him. And not only that, he was signing autographs for free. Like, he was signing autographs, and the person and the woman that was with him, this thieving bitch, bro. I hope he done got her to fuck away from him. She was literally selling his autographs that he was giving away for free and pocketing the money, bro. You know what I'm saying? Pocketing the money. There was like she was getting like autographs from him. She'll have him sign like a certain amount of pictures and then sell them for $20. You just see her pocketing it the whole time. and if you wanted to take a picture with him, the picture had to come from her phone, and she would charge you like $40 for a picture. I'm like, you out your fucking mind. You out your fuck. I was like, yo, who are you? And she never explained who she was or anything like that. I'm thinking she the wife or some shit, because she was an older, woman, just like how he was older. But I'm like, who the fuck? Like, who is you? Like, if he say that he gonna give me a picture for free, why the fuck you trying to go out your way to try to put a price tag on it? Like, if you don't sit your thirsty ass down somewhere, fuck wrong with you? Thirsty ass bitch. But regardless, man, I think Errol Spence, he don't want to become one of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? So, he want to be somebody who obviously could play with his kids and, still count his money and, have all his faculties and shit like that. So, maybe he has a shift of mentality where it's like, all right, what I'm saying? I did a lot in the sport. You know what I mean? I made a shit ton of money. So, before I get up out of here, let me get a few more dollars, and just kick back with the family. You know what I mean? And just enjoy life. You feel what I'm saying? There's a lot of fucked up shit that happened to these boxers after they hang the gloves up. And I think Earl's going to be I think he's going to be, doing really well in life. You know what I'm saying? I think he made a shit ton of money, especially after that Crawford fight. But he was getting really good paydays prior to that. So, fighting at the Dallas, Cowboy Stadium and shit like that, he definitely done ran up a few checks. You feel what I mean? So hopefully, he's taking care of that really well. It seems like he's financially literate as well. One of the last interviews he did was like with an accountant. So, he's being responsible with his money, which is a great thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about him from that aspect, but I am worried about him in terms of like, him as a fighter, exactly what he's going to do next. So, because according to these reports, they said Errol Spence, won't be ready for the fight with Sebastian Fundora, at the end of this year, which is kind of confusing to me because there's still a lot of time left until the fight. So I'm wondering if Errol Spence is still trying to, get the some good rest. I don't know if he's trying to rest a little bit more. I don't know if he's struggling trying to find a coach. There's been a lot of rumors as to, who his next coach is going to be. I heard Calvin Ford. I heard Roy Jones. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but it seems like Earl still got some shit to figure out. And he probably won't be fighting until 2025, unfortunately. If he doesn't fight 2025, then probably late 2024. You see what I mean? So, I hope everything's going well with Earl. You know what I'm saying? I hope that he gets the proper rest, and I hope he comes back and looks like himself, man. I would hate to see him jump back in this fight with Sebastian Fundora and look like a shell of himself, because that could really spell out, trouble for Errol. You know what I mean? Sebastian Fundora is not somebody you want to come up a shell of yourself against. You see what I'm saying? So, prayers up for Errol. You know what I mean? I hope he gets a great trainer that he has a solid chemistry with. And hopefully, he could go in there with Sebastian Fundora and give us an entertaining fight and, even come out on top. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see in due time. We'll definitely see in due time. But, shout out to Errol Spence. He gave us a lot of great memories, man. I love his come up was amazing, man. And the lead up to him fighting Kell Brook, this dude looked like he couldn't be fucked with. Like the Chris Algieri performance was sensational. I love the Chris Van Heerden performance, the Phil LaGreco performance. I was like, yo, this dude really looks like he's going to be the future of the division, like the future of boxing. Like, this dude is a star in the making. He had the look, he had the style, he was getting knockouts, and he put his money where his mouth was, man. Like him going over to the UK against Kell Brook with all them booing-ass fans, and he had that big-ass crowd going up against him, and Kell Brook was giving him a run for his money, but he just kept chipping away, just completely determined, just showing all his heart and dog. And, he was able to beat Kell Brook into submission in his backyard. Like, you got to respect Errol Spence on the come up, man. You know what I'm saying? Brought that belt back home to Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Carlos Ocampo stopped him in the first round with a body shot. Like, Errol Spence had the boxing world in a headlock at one point. You see what I'm saying? Dominated Lamont Peterson. You know what I'm saying? Beat up on Mikey Garcia, who was one of my favorite fighters of all time. I was a big fan of Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? beat up on Philly's own, Danny Garcia after the car accident. You know what I mean? Beat Sean Porter, took his WBC title, beat up on your Dennis Ugas, pretty much ruined that man's career. Like Errol Spence was the man, bro. So to see like his whole momentum switch up in one fight, sometimes that's all it takes to really make somebody question, you know what I'm saying, if they want to keep doing it anymore. Let's see. Platinum Athletes. Shout out to Platinum Athletes. He said, I seen a clip where Earl had to lie to the eye doctor just to get an approval for the Bud fight. So maybe it's something with his health. He just didn't look himself. I hope it all turns out well. Shout out to Platinum Athletes. But this is the thing. This is what I didn't understand about the situation. Um, when you're getting your eyes checked, the doctors are gonna see what they're gonna see. You see what I mean? So I don't see how he could lie to the doctors. I don't know if this that's like somebody saying that, somebody, how can I say this? This is like somebody like giving you a sobriety test, and then you say, yeah, man, and lie to them and say you're not drunk, and then they just give you a pass. No, the sobriety test is showing that you're not sober. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how he could lie to the eye doctor and say nothing's wrong with his eye when all they gotta do is look into his eye and they gonna see exactly what's wrong with it. So what I personally believe happened, I think what personally happened was, I think Bud did it. I think Bud fucked his eye up. He tried to come back in the mix or whatever, or he seen that he was having eye problems after the Bud fight, and then he had to get a surgery afterwards. If they seen that this man had what the hell they say he had, what the fuck they say he had, bro? It was the other eye. He had he detached his retina in the lead up to the Pacquiao fight that he was supposed to have, and then cataracts. They say he had cataracts. So he had cataracts in the other eye or whatever the situation is. I think whatever damage that eye went through, I think that shit happened during the Bud fight, which makes a lot of sense to me because Bud was landing at will, had his face all bust up and shit like that. So before he could go back into a fight, I think he had to get that eye, fixed. You know what I'm saying? I think that damage came from the Bud fight. I don't think you could sit and lie to a doctor and say nothing wrong with your eye. But all they gotta do is a small eye exam and see that something is wrong with the eye, and they're not gonna, approve you for the fight, which is what they did in the Pacquiao lead up. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, regardless, shout out to Platinum Athletes, man. I seen that Errol was willing to sign like an agreement saying that if he loses eye, it won't be nobody's responsibility except his. Like, he really wanted that Pacquiao fight so bad, and you know, it's one of the biggest. It was a big what if to me. Like, where will Spence be at in his career right now if he defeated Manny Pacquiao? Let's say he stopped Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? With his superstardom has shot to a whole different, atmosphere. What would exactly have happened with that situation? How would he have approached Manny Pacquiao? I think about that shit sometimes. He had that huge opportunity in his hands, and Ugas able to get that opportunity and get a fucking legend on his resume, man. You see what I mean? So it was a huge what if. Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. Let me see how many. We got 17 likes with 20 people in the building. We got 3 people hating on here, man. Come on, man. Let's get them likes up, man. Let's get them likes up. You see what I mean? But yeah, man, was Errol Spence canceling the Fundora fight. I hope everything is well. I hope it's something minor that's going on. You see what I mean? I hope that it gets resolved ASAP, and hopefully we can see him back in the mix and getting some big fights. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are putting it out there that Earl's intentions is to get the Bud rematch. Well, for him to get that motherfucking Bud rematch, he's gonna have to do some sensational shit at 154, and he really don't got time to waste because Bud, he's making it clear that he's trying to get a couple more checks, then he bouncing. If he get that Canelo opportunity, I think win or lose, he riding off into the sunset. That's what Bomac told me. See what I mean? So the clock ticking. So if Earl want that rematch, if he really want his get back, then he gonna have to think fast. Shout out to the boy Ralph. He said if Earl didn't have that eye injury, them Pac fans would have been hot. Earl would have put hands on Pacquiao had they fought. Yeah, that version of Pacquiao that fought Ugas, he would have went up in there with Earl Spence. It would have been a bad job, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I think that version of Pacquiao would have got stopped against Earl for sure. Pacquiao legs wasn't underneath him. You know what I'm saying? Ugas wasn't a big puncher, but you could tell Pacquiao was getting affected by those punches. If those punches would have came from Earl, man, he would have broke Pacquiao all up, man. He would have stopped Pacquiao. Pacquiao just ain't have it that night. Blood Raven, what up? He said, amigo. Wait, amigo, amiga? What you? All right. I think this dude trolling. He got one more crazy message to put out here before he get blocked. So he definitely got to tighten up. You know what I mean? Don't get hit with the wrench. You know what I mean? You get sent to the back room. Don't do that. Don't do that. But let's get into some open boxing topics, man. I'm going to do like 5 minutes of open boxing topics. Oh, wait. Yeah, I knew that name sound familiar. Is this weirdo again? Oh, yeah. Go ahead and hit him with the wrench, man. I knew that name sound familiar. But let's get into some open boxing topics, man. I seen that Junto Nakatani, I believe that's his last name. I hope I ain't fuck it up. Has just signed a co-promotional deal with Top Rank. So it seems like, in my personal opinion, that Naoya Inoue fight versus Junto is definitely going to be in the works, man. And I think that's a sensational fight. I think Naoya Inoue, I think, he pretty much cleared out his division with the quickness, man. Like, he got right into the division. I think he beat the best fighter in the division in his very first fight at 122. Then he went on and he got the other belts, became undisputed, beat on Luis Neri, broke him up real quick. And now I just feel like there ain't nobody else there for him. And I heard that Naoya Inoue's team is looking to have him move up to 126 in 2025. So, in the meantime, I think he's about to fight what was his name? Like TJ Doheny? I forgot his fucking name. My apologies, man. It'd be hard to keep up with all these dudes' names. But regardless, it seems like he gonna take on that fight real quick, dispose of him, because that's exactly what he gonna do. I watched, TJ Donahue, 26-4, man. I think he just taking a little tune-up. You know what I mean? Just trying to stay active. And I'm with that shit. You know what I mean? I'm cool with, people fighting guys that's, mid-tier or whatever when, they pretty much done cleared out their division and they just trying to stay active type shit. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? He just fought out. I think he fought like in May against Luis Neri, and now he's coming back in September. 4-month turnaround. I'm with that. You know what I mean? I'm definitely with that. So I really hope that Junto fight with Inoue happens, man. I think that'd be a sensational fight. And I'm definitely going to be tuned in. You know what I mean? Because, that's definitely happening in Japan. They cashing out something stupid. You know what I mean? And their time zone going to be a little bit different. They probably going to be rumbling at 7, 8, 9 in the morning over here. But I'm going to definitely be tuned in for sure. You know what I mean? So if y'all got a couple questions before I get up out of here, let me know, man. I'm trying to be on here for I'll probably give y'all like 10 more minutes. So, I mean, if y'all want to speak about something that's on your mind or something y'all want to discuss, just let me know. Let's get into it. We got 20 people in the building. You know what I'm saying? Let's get 20 questions. Let's get it going. I mean, it's a lot of things that's going on in the boxing world. You know what I mean? Yeah, Anonymous said Oscar losing his mind right now. Jaime left him. Yo, man, listen. That's what happens when you go around talking shit. You know what I'm saying? You was talking shit to Shakur. Oh, you not fighting William Cepeda unless you sign with me. And then you go around saying, oh, I don't want to sign with Shakur because, he goes against the public. And I don't like fighters that go against the public. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You try to flex you got it like that and shit like that. I mean, the one fighter that you was building up, you spent all this time and money on this motherfucker Jaime Munguia. You gave this dude turkey after turkey after turkey. and you promoted this man like no other. Y'all try to build him up as this dude that was gonna stop Canelo. You put him in there with John Ryder. Then he finally gets that Canelo Alvarez fight. You know what I'm saying? You go, you promote the shit out of him. You over here beefing with Canelo to boost up the fight and shit like that. And as soon as this man gets this motherfucking check from you, he gets the ultimate cash out, he leaves you in the dust. Ain't that some shit? One thing I'm gonna say is at least Oscar got a little bit of bread off that Canelo fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he got his exact, I don't know if he got his return on investment. I don't know if he got all the bread back he put in behind me, but it's crazy how that shit caught me off guard totally too. I did not expect Jaime Munguia to just go sign with Top Rank and play it like everything was cool. You know what I mean? And leave De La Hoya behind. I didn't even know about, him being like on his final fight with Oscar De La Hoya. That shit caught me off guard. I ain't gonna hold you. So that just leaves who? Who does that leave Golden Boy with? This leaves Golden Boy with Ryan Garcia and Virgil Ortiz. Shit. They in a tough spot right now, man. The Mexican dudes starting to realize they worth and they bouncing. Who's Oscar's biggest star? I guess Ryan. Right? But Ryan can't come back for another year. Virgil, Cepeda. Virgil a little bit bigger than Cepeda right now. I'm gonna say that. Cepeda's still so Top Rank signing a lot of Mexicans. They know how to push Mexicans. That's why they know how to push Mexicans. They got the blueprints for the Mexicans. They got the blueprints for the Ricans. They got the blueprint for the Argentinians. But for black fighters, man, they struggle. And I remember Barbershop Conversations had an interview with Bob, and he admitted it. That man admitted to having trouble, maintaining, black boxers. They didn't know how to really promote black fighters, which kind of blew my fucking mind because I was like, yo, didn't you first start coming around promoting Muhammad Ali? How the fuck you don't know how to promote black fighters? But regardless, I mean, that's what they talking about. Brian talking about fighting in Japan. So what? He's only exempt from fighting in the U.S.? I thought this was like a ban all over. Oh no, I think the only thing Ryan could do is exhibitions and shit like that, because technically that's not, him fighting for real. So I don't know if he's talking about doing an exhibition in Japan or whatever the situation is, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what Ryan got going on. Ryan Garcia over here somewhere tweet. You ever peep that Ryan Garcia nose really be tweaking? And he's constantly moving his nose and touching his nose and shit like that. He really be he be really fidgeting, real fidgety and playing with his nose. That shit ain't no coincidence, man. That boy on something serious. He showed a liquor, but he be hiding that, you know what I'm saying, that perico, you feel me? Who do y'all think is gonna win? I'm guessing you saying between Beterbiev and Bivol, since Benavidez is gonna be the mandatory for that fight right now. I see Bivol coming out on top, man. I don't think it's coincidental that Beterbiev keeps getting these injuries. I think there's a lot of wear and tear on his body from just being an older athlete. And I think it'll show in the ring between them. I think Beterbiev is gonna have moments he might possibly hurt Bivol and shit like that. But I just think that Bivol is at a better point in his career right now than Beterbiev. Now we talking about the Beterbiev from a few years back that fought Volzdik and shit like that. I would favor Beterbiev, but I'm just real concerned about his age right now. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I think that shit is definitely gonna play a part, and I wouldn't be surprised if Beterbiev looks old against Bivol. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. I think Bivol comes out on top and gets a unanimous decision. I don't see him stopping Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev got too much dog, too much determination. You know what I'm saying? I just can't see it happening. If he were to stop Better Beef, that'll be fucking crazy. But highly doubt that. You know what I mean? I just think he'll come out with a unanimous decision win. And I think that it'll be David Benavidez versus Dimitri Bivol, 2025. I heard Samson say the summer of 2025. You know what I'm saying? And the WBC would rather give, you know, Benavidez that opportunity than give Benavidez the Canelo opportunity. I think they low key like pressure Benavidez to go to 175 because they don't want him to go up against Canelo. That's what I think. They're like, nah, we want to keep getting this bread off Canelo. Why don't you move up to 175? And then if you beat the winner of Better Beef and Bivol, we could get a percentage off you. Uh-oh. Oscar de la Pase. He said, I got Bivol by unanimous decision. Better Beef hasn't fought an opponent with an all-rounded game like Bivol, much less on his caliber. Oh, okay. I like that. Anonymous said he's always had Bivol in that fight. Yeah, if he stops Better Beef, that's definitely a statement. That's definitely a statement. That would catch me the fuck off guard. I ain't gonna lie to you. He said, do y'all think we'll ever see Pitbull knocked out or stopped? Because Ryo says he plans on going for the knockout. I don't believe him. Well, I can't see Ryo boxing Anonymous. Like I can't see that, man. Like it showed that Edwin De Los Santos fight showed me a lot about Ryo because even when Ryo was getting stunned and he was getting hurt and he was buckling all over the ring, he still was trying to get De Los Santos. You know what I'm saying? Like he still was trying to be the aggressor and was trying to bang with him. I think that's all Ryo knows. I think that's all Ryo knows, man. So I think he's really gonna go for the knockout with Pitbull. And Pitbull could definitely get knocked out, y'all. Like that, I mean, anybody could get knocked out, anybody could get clipped. You know what I'm saying? And as aggressive Pitbull is, he could definitely run into a counter and not respond well. You feel what I'm saying? But I just think that Pitbull just got a way about him defensively that he he's pretty responsible with his high guard, man. And not only is he responsible with his high guard, but he even rolls with the shots with the high guard. Like if he sees a shot coming, like if a shot is like if a left hook is coming his way, he's gonna roll with the left hook to not only not only is he catching the shot, but he's rolling with the shot and is taking power off of the shot. I've seen him, go up against Gervonta Davis and Gervonta launch that uppercut and he'll turn with the uppercut while he got that high guard real tight. He's pretty responsible with his hands. Whenever he shoots some shots, them hands come back. Yeah, bro. I just think that Ryo only got one John. I think all he know is go, bro. I don't think he's one of those fighters that, could fight going backwards and uses lateral movement and stuff like that. Ryo is not cut like that. That's just not in his DNA. So I think all he know is fight, and if he get cracked, he gonna go out on his shield. But before he go out on that shield, he definitely gonna try to clip you. He gonna try to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Bro said Ryo ain't doing nothing to Cruz. Ryo gonna get put on the canvas. Yeah, Ryo Chin definitely could get tapped against Cruz. Cruz could definitely hurt Ryo. I know that for a fact. But them exchanges, they gonna be dangerous. You gotta keep your eyes glued to that TV when they fight. Cause that shit not going 12. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. If that shit go 12, I'll be shocked. Somebody getting clipped. If there's no knockdowns in that fight, I'll be absolutely shocked. You see what I'm saying? Somebody getting hurt. The way that both of their styles set up, somebody getting hurt. And I know that because neither one of them gonna want to take a back step. They're gonna sit there in front of each other and try to go at it, blow for blow. Shout out to Oscar. He said, Mazuma, how do you feel about Berlanga fighting Canelo Alvarez. If you haven't already touched on it, yeah, I spoke about that yesterday and I made a video about it. But regardless, I'll speak on it again. Obviously, Canelo Alvarez is showing us, he's showing you, he's showing us that he don't give a fuck about what we think. You know what I'm saying? He's blatantly cherry picking opponents to avoid elite competition. And Berlanga, I could shit on him all day. I could obviously say that he's unworthy, he hasn't fought anybody, and all of that could be true. But Berlanga is just taking the opportunity that Canelo is offering him. So I can't really be mad at Berlanga. Like as much as I want to be mad at Berlanga because he hasn't fought anybody and he's trying to play like he's a star when he's really not. I can't really be mad at him because anybody would take on the opportunity against Canelo with the paydays he gives out. You see what I mean? Like Berlanga has legitimately beat nobody. Nobody. No top 5 fighters, no top 10. I don't even know if he's beating a top 10 fighter. I highly doubt that too. This man has never been like optimistic about fighting any of the elites or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But he just jumps, he skips the line in the middleweight, in the super middleweight division to face Canelo Alvarez. That's insane to me. Berlanga has never even competed for a world title. I don't even know if he's even had an interim title. He's about to go fight for all 4 belts. That shit is crazy, bro. There's dudes who hold belts in the division that can't get a shot at undisputed. Meanwhile, a motherfucker who don't got a belt at all could fight for all 4. First Canelo moved up a dude 2 weight classes. But at least Jermell was solidified in his division. At least he was the best in his division when Canelo fought him. Berlanga is not even... there was somebody that was on my live yesterday that said they can name 10 fighters that's better than Berlanga at 168. He not even the best from his fucking city. Where you from, Brooklyn? Like, come on, man. Yeah, exactly. Yours truly, Duck Nello activities. So, that's my overall take on the situation. Like, I don't feel like Berlanga should be shitted on for this because, like I said, anybody would take that opportunity. I mean, you got to. Who would say no? There's nobody that's going to say no to a Canelo fight and be like, oh, I turned it down because, I didn't feel like I was worthy. Like, ain't nobody going to say that. They're going to take that shit. So, salute to Berlanga for getting the fight. You know what I mean? With doing the shout out to Berlanga for doing minimal work and still being able to get, the top guy, not only in his division, but the fucking world. And, Canelo Alvarez is a disgrace. He's a disgrace, man. Like, that's all you could really say. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing. But, it is what it is. Somehow, Jermell Charlo, who's never competed at 168, is more worthy than David Benavidez. Jaime Munguia, who doesn't even have the resume that David Benavidez has, is more worthy than David Benavidez. And now a motherfucker who's never even had a world title, you literally told Demetrius Andre, well, who you fight? You fight with nobody. You fight with nobody. Who the fuck Edgar Berlanga for? Who the fuck Edgar Berlanga for? And then you went on that stage and they asked you about David Benavidez. You was like, oh, he only beat one champion, Anthony Darrell. What champion has Edgar Berlanga beat? You see how easy this shit is to just show that Canelo is a fucking pussy, bro? Like, he points out all these things. And since then, David Benavidez has beat 2 more champions, Demetrius Andre and Caleb Plant, and that's still not enough for him. Meanwhile, Edgar Berlanga hasn't beaten, I don't even know if he's beaten a former world champion. Has the man beaten a former world champion? Like, what has he done? And then this is another thing I need to address because I keep seeing this in my comment section on Twitter and all this shit. They saying that David Benavidez didn't activate. All of a sudden, he didn't activate his mandatory. So correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. Like, I've never really heard of this shit. You see what I mean? I've seen fighters like what's that shit called? I've seen fighters like put in a request to become somebody's mandatory. What's that shit called? Like Terrence Crawford he did that shit with Jeff Horn. You know what I mean? I think like he petitioned the WBO to make him the mandatory and shit like that. Like, you could request shit, but in terms of activating shit, I've never heard of this. Like, I don't know if I've just been out of the loop. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. From what I understand how the way boxing works is you move up the rankings, right? And as you continue to, do title eliminators and shit like that, eventually you become, and assuming you're successful, you end up becoming the number one contender for that person's world title, right? Then after that, it's completely out of your hands. The WBC, the whatever sanctioning body it is, has to do their job in making you the number one mandatory, right? After they give you that number one mandatory, after they make you that number one contender, then they have to mandate the fight. And they give that fighter a certain amount of time to come up with a deal to fight you. If not, it'll go to a purse bid. Can somebody tell me if I'm wrong? I don't understand where this activating the mandatory shit is coming from. Because as far as I'm concerned, David Benavidez has been a mandatory for almost 3 years, 2-3 years. And from what I understand, early last year, the WBC told us and told David Benavidez they was going to mandate him to fight Canelo Alvarez in March of 2024, and they never fucking did. So why are they trying to put the blame on David Benavidez as if he didn't do his job as a fighter, and making it seem like now the whole narrative is that he ducked, that he didn't really want to fight Canelo Alvarez? Where the fuck did this even come from? The reality of the situation is David Benavidez has been chasing that fight for a good amount of time now. He's been beating quality opposition in the lead up to calling out Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez has said that he wants $200 million to face David Benavidez, and the WBC has not done their job and has done a huge disservice to David Benavidez and pretty much crushing his hopes at getting an opportunity for undisputed against Canelo Alvarez in the super middleweight division, pretty much forcing that man to move up the light heavyweight when his job at 168 was pretty much incomplete. Facts. I don't know if I said anything. It's that simple. Anonymous. I mean, Canelo Alvarez is a disgrace to boxing. That's a fact. This is the shit that we gotta deal with while this motherfucker hold all these belts. You know what I'm saying? This is the shit that we gotta deal with. He can easily just, and this is the thing. Like, if you gonna be on pussy shit, like you just gonna be on ducking shit, and you don't want to fight no elite guys, why you feel the need to hold on to them belts? Let the motherfuckers who actually want to be great and actually want to prove that they the best, let them fight for the belts. You your own star. You bigger than the belt, right? You known for dropping the belt whenever you feel like they getting on your nerves. So obviously you don't need them. You bigger than the belts, right, Canelo? So why don't you just get rid of the belts and just go and do your own shit? Go fight the Chris Eubanks. They ain't gonna turn you down. They'll fight you without a belt, as long as that money right. Oh, I just don't understand. Ralph says, can't wait until Canelo retires. Guys like Bam Rodriguez deserve more recognition than him. Yeah, like Bam is taking real chances, man, and going up against elite guys. And whenever he's calling guys out, he's calling out credible guys who's championing or at the top of their division at least. Like this dude Canelo literally said that he's gonna do whatever the fuck he felt like doing, and he already showed you that he's willing to fight anybody because he fought Triple G. He fought Austin Trout. He fought Erislandy Lara. Fights that are older than fucking my son. You know what I'm saying? Old as shit. Old ass fights. Because he did all this old, like, boxing is what have you done for me lately, but not for Canelo. He wants you to still respect him for shit that he did 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And because he did that, he's justified in not fighting David Benavidez. Meanwhile, he's holding every fucking major title in the division. He wants you to call him the best. He wants you to say that he's the face of boxing and all this shit, but he don't want to do what the best or the face of boxing type fighters do, and that's fight the other best people in your division. Jordan Scherer says, feel bad for Benavidez. Did a solid body of work at 168, almost cleaning the division out, but still didn't get his shot. Rightful chance at undisputed. Bro, there was nobody that was more worthy of an opportunity than David Benavidez, bro. Not at 168. That man did bro. He even said, like, yo, if Canelo don't want it, like, I'll take. He said, bro, Canelo could have whatever percentage he wants. He said all that shit. He was like, if Canelo Alvarez don't want to give me an opportunity, then I'm gonna just beat the guys that he wants to fight next. I'm gonna just take out all his possible opponents. That's why he was calling out Jamal and all them dudes. Whoever was lined up for Canelo to fight, he said he was gonna knock him off, so Canelo won't have no choice but to pick him. He did the same shit that Jaime Munguia did. You see how he beat John Ryder, and then they was tying Canelo Alvarez's name, the Munguias, and then eventually they fought. He did the same shit with Caleb Plant. He fought a common opponent with Canelo. You know what I'm saying? People was comparing performances and shit like that. Canelo still wasn't intrigued. It's crazy, bro. Benavidez did everything in his power, and I'm glad he not sticking around and stalling his career out for that man. Fuck Canelo, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fuck Canelo. It is what it is, man. But I've been on here talking enough, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love to the channel. We got 23 people in the building. Shout out to everybody that came through, and provided their insight in the comment section and shit like that, man. Shout out to I had somebody send me a Cash App. I think his name was Jude, man. If you in the comments right now, shout out to Jude for showing love in the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that donates to the channel. You know what I mean? And just adds to the conversation in general. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, I got some new merch up on MazumaMerch.com. Please go check it out. I got multiple designs, multiple colorways, and multiple types of apparel, man. Go check it out. Get you a sticker, get you a coffee mug, get you a hoodie, get you a crew neck, t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt, tank tops. I got it all on there, man. Please go check it out. But until then, I'll be back at y'all with another video tomorrow afternoon, and I'll be live, and I should be live tomorrow as well. So be on the lookout for that. Shout out to the nation in the mob for coming through and showing love. Hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, man. We do this on a regular basis, man. You know what I mean? Come see what the hype is about. But until then, this is Mazuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.